Good morning, class 10. Today we will start a new chapter in civics, political parties. As we all know that in India itself there are so many political parties and the people are greatly influenced by different political parties. We have different opinions. We are for or against the party for which we want to. Since we are living in a democratic country, we have all the freedom to be a part of any political party or to support any political party, to raise our voice against any political party. We often see that people keep criticizing that such a party is not doing a proper work for the society, or the ruling party is not functioning properly, the particular political party is not supporting this or that issue, etc., etc. So we, being the citizens of a democratic country, we have all the freedom to express our opinion for or against any political party, to join any political party, to leave any party at any point of time, etc. So we are now going to read in this chapter why do we need political parties, what are the basic components of a political party, and many more important things regarding political parties. So let us start. Why do we need political parties? Political parties are easily one of the most visible institutions in a democracy. Visible institutions because we can see how many parties are there in our country, and we can easily see how they are functioning or what kind of a party is a particular political party, so that we can be in favor or against according to our wish. For most ordinary citizens, democracy is equal to political parties. We can say that democracy is equal to political parties. Why? Because in a democratic country, a particular political party, if it has a clear majority, then it forms the government. Otherwise, it may enter into a coalition. Two or more political parties can join together to form the government. So we see we consider that democracy and political parties are like two sides of the same coin. If you travel to remote parts of our country and speak to less educated people, you could come across people who may not know anything about our constitution or about the nature of our government, but chances are that they would know something about our political parties. Very, very true. If you talk to the servants which come to your home, don't go to villages, don't go so far. If you talk to the servants who come to your home, the maid servants who come to wash utensils, etc., and at the time of elections, or even in ordinary times when like nowadays, it's not necessary that elections are coming near, only then you can talk about. You can talk today also and just look at their viewpoint. Okay, this exercise you can do today. You can ask your mother to do it for you. The maid servant who comes to your home, mostly they are not educated. But if you ask them, तुम कौन सी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी, तुम कौन सी पार्टी को वोट देती हो, he or she will certainly give you the answer. कांग्रेस को देते हैं, बीजेपी को देते हैं, whatever political party he or she favors, they will tell you. कौन सी गवर्नमेंट को वोट दोगी अगली बार जब इलेक्शन होंगे, see what answer she will give you. If she is in favor of the BJP government, if she is happy with what Prime Minister Modi is doing for the poor and the needy, then definitely they will say, Modi ko denge. You talk today, I am telling you, this is going to be a very interesting activity. You try to do it today. If you are hesitant in talking to her, you can ask your mother that today when she will come in the evening, then ask her she is in favor of which political party. Whenever elections are held, or in future when the elections will be held, then she is going to favor which political party. किस पार्टी को वोट देती है या किस पार्टी को वोट देगी? Just ask this question. and let me know. You can answer this question in my on my personal WhatsApp number. It will be a very interesting exercise, I am telling you. So this is a very true statement here, that if you talk to the village people, they may not know anything about our constitution, they may not know anything how the government functions, but they will certainly give you the name of that political party whom they favor. That means the names of political parties become so popular, the political parties by themselves become so popular, that even if the person is uneducated, he or she may not know anything about democracy, about how the government functions, how the government works, what are the merits or demerits of any political party. They may not know things in deep, but they will certainly tell you which political party they are in favor of. But chances are that they would know something about our political parties. They can express their opinion. ये पार्टी अच्छी नहीं है, ये हमारे लिए काम नहीं करती है, ये पार्टी अच्छी है, इसने गरीबों के लिए ये किया, इसने गरीबों के लिए वो किया. So they will give statements like this. At the same time, this visibility does not mean popularity. At the same time, that means the writer is saying that this visibility, that the poor people, the village people, the rural people, they know the names of political parties. This does not mean that political parties become popular or are very popular. Most people tend to be very critical of political parties. Yes, of course, you also must have seen, as soon as you start discussing politics with anybody, you will see that people will start expressing their viewpoint, they will start giving their opinions about what they think about different political parties. Some people talk in such an authoritative manner, as if you will feel as if they have all the knowledge about all the political parties, all ins and outs of all the parties, all merits and demerits of various parties, who is the best, who is better, who is worse. People have different opinions about different political parties, and they are very critical about them. They are all the time ready to criticize and express their opinion about different political parties. They tend to blame parties for all that is wrong with our democracy and our political life. This is the easiest thing anybody can do. You also must have seen, children, in your own families, you must have seen, or maybe you have done it yourself at some point of time, that if a particular political party is not doing something according to our wish, then we start criticizing that political party immediately. We start blaming that party for doing all those things which are wrong in the country, as if only one political party is running the whole country, all the people are being governed by that political party. We should not do that. It is very wrong to do it. Suppose, I am giving you one simple example. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had started Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. All of us know this. Now, it was a very nice initiative taken by Prime Minister Modi, supported by his government, and by and large, the people of the country, the citizens of the country also supported Prime Minister Modi. But suppose a particular section of people living in your locality, your society, keep on throwing garbage on the street, they dirty your locality, they dirty the surroundings, they are a cause of pollution in your area. So whom do you blame? Should we blame the government for this? Should we blame Prime Minister Modi for this? Should we blame the ruling party for this? Any political party. I am not speaking in favor of any particular party. I am just giving you one example that it is very easy to criticize any party. It is very easy to criticize the government, criticize any party for that matter. But the party or the government can only bring about an initiative. They can only do things for us, they can initiate things for us, but it is the countrymen who will actually bring those things into practice. So if anything bad happens in the society, then we will directly pinpoint towards the form of government in the country, the ruling party in the country, the prime minister at that time, and we will keep blaming that particular political party. But we should ask ourselves, are the political parties or the members of the political parties are only responsible for that? As far as voting is concerned, when voting is concerned, then we as countrymen have the right to vote. In that, we show that yes, we are responsible citizens, we have chosen our representatives. Is our responsibility ending there? We have only one right in India, that we have the right to vote, and our right and our duties end there. No, it should not be. We should see to it that whatever has been done in the country, or whatever new will be done or has been done till now, it is for the benefit of everybody. And if something goes wrong, then we should not try to put all the blame on a particular political party or one or more political parties. Whatever wrong happens, we, the citizens of the country, are also equally responsible for that wrong. We should take the blame on ourselves also. But generally this does not happen. Generally what happens is, whenever we see anything wrong happening in the country or in the society or in any particular state, we just pinpoint towards a particular political party and we start criticizing them. But this should not be the way of reacting. It's a wrong way. Parties have become identified with social and political divisions. Our society, India, our country India, and the society within India, we have the country has been divided on the basis of social and political divisions, and in each state or in each community we will see that there are different political parties, and we start identifying them on the basis of social and political divisions in that area or in that part of the country. Therefore, it is natural to ask, do we need political parties at all? Now, if there are so many problems, if there are so many things which we have to just criticize about political parties, so the next question is, if the political parties are so defective in their working, in their functioning, so the question is, do we need political parties? Can we run the country without political parties? Is there any necessity for political parties to exist at all? Let us see. About 100 years ago, there were few countries of the world that had any political party. Now, there are few that do not have parties. That means mostly all countries have political parties now. Now, there are few that do not have parties. Why did political parties become so omnipresent in democracies all over the world? That means why the parties are more or less present in all democratic countries of the world today. Let us find answer what political parties are and what they do before we say why we need them. Meaning. Now, underline the meaning. A pencil should always be ready with you, children, because the chapter is very important and there are many things which I will make you underline and mark. So, mark the definition first, underline it. Meaning. A political party is a group of people who come together to contest elections and hold power in the government. A very simple definition and a very important definition. You must learn it properly. A political party is a group of people. We all know that political parties are made from the people themselves who come together to contest elections. Different political parties have different members and they contest elections and hold power in the government. whichever political party wins by absolute majority, or if they do not have absolute majority, then if they are forming coalition government, they will join hands together with 2 or more parties and they will form the government. They agree on some policies and programs for the society with a view to promote the collective good. That means, what is the purpose of the political party? The political parties agree on those policies and programs which are going to benefit the people at large. The political parties make such policies, make such programs which should be beneficial when they are implemented. When those policies and programs are implemented, then they should benefit the citizens of the country. Since there can be different views on what is good for all, parties try to persuade people why their policies are better than others. Very interesting line. Since there can be different views on what is good for all. Very interesting. What I say is good for you, maybe you think it is not good for you. What I think is good for our country, maybe some other person will say that no, it is not going to serve the purpose, it has certain demerits also. So there will be always difference of opinion. A good thing for one person may not be as good for the other person. So in that case, the parties try to persuade people, they try to convince people why their policies are better for others, so that they may implement the policies which they are thinking is going to benefit the citizens. They seek to implement these policies by winning popular support through elections. Now, how do they convince the people? How do they persuade the people? They persuade the people by they try to persuade the people and they try to win their support through elections. How do you come to know that a large section of population living in a country has accepted that the particular policies and programs which a particular political party is planning to implement later is going to help us? Suppose any party, and party ABC, I am just making an imaginary name. Suppose a party ABC makes 5 or lays down 5 programs or 5 policies which it thinks is going to help the people in the country later on if they will become the ruling party. So the party ABC is going to persuade the people, it is going to tell the people the benefits of the policies which it is planning to implement, and the people, if they are convinced, then they will show their popular support by giving them vote when elections will be held. And once the elections are held and if that party ABC wins the popular support, wins the election, then they are going to become the ruling party and they are going to implement the policies which they had planned earlier. So this is the way how we show our approval towards their policies which they make, by giving them votes during elections. Thus, parties reflect fundamental political divisions in a society. Parties are about a part of the society and thus involve partisanship. Now see children, there is a meaning given on the right side of this page. The word is partisan. A person who is strongly committed to a party, a group or faction. Faction means a group of people. It is not a spelling mistake children. It is not fraction. It is faction. Faction means a group of people, a section of people or a group of people. So what is the meaning of partisan? A partisan is a person who is strongly committed to a party, who strongly supports a particular party or a group of people or faction of people. Partisanship is marked by a tendency to take a side and inability to take a balanced view on an issue. That means, like here in this line it is written, parties are about a a part of the society. Parties are a part of the society. Yes, they are a part of the society because the members of the political parties are also the members of the society. So political parties can be called a part of the society and thus involve partisanship. That means they involve a tendency to take sides. People take sides. Why? Because the people are also the members of the political party, and the people have this tendency that as soon as they see a particular political party involving more members from their society, from their community, then they are likely to involve into partisanship. That means they are likely to support their political party. I am repeating what is the meaning of this line. It is written, parties are about a part of the society. Political parties are a part of the society. The members of the political parties are made from the people living in the society. I hope this is clear. And thus involve partisanship. That means because the political parties are made from the members living in the society, from the citizens living in the society, that is why people in that part of the society, in that locality or in that region of the country, they are likely to show their inclination towards their political party. The parties which are in southern India, they are likely to show their support towards the parties of South India only, isn't it? So the people who constitute the political parties, they are seen showing their inclination, or they have a tendency to take sides. Obviously they will be partial towards their political party, the party which belongs to their locality in the country, their region in the country, and mostly the members of the party belong from their region itself. That is why they have a tendency to be on their side, to be inclined towards that particular political party, and inability to take a balanced view on an issue. They have the inability to show a balanced view. That means they don't become impartial. They are unable to show impartial attitude over any issue. They are partial because they are on the side of that political party which has maximum members or the citizens from that region or from that locality. That is why people involved in partisanship, they show their inclination towards that particular political party, and they also become partial. They are not able to show a balanced viewpoint over any issue. They cannot remain impartial. Thus, a party is known by which part it stands for. Just now I have been explaining this only. Thus, a party is known by which part it stands for. That means it stands for which part of the country. Southern India, Northern India, Eastern India, Western India, different parts of the country have their own political parties, and political parties are known by which part they stand for, which policies it supports, and whose interests it upholds. A political party has three components. Underline this and learn. A political party has three components. Firstly, the leaders. Secondly, active members. And thirdly, the followers. Any political party you name, these three components are there in every political party. The leaders who formulate the party, active members who are doing the major work for their political party, within their political party, and the followers. Who are the followers? The citizens are the followers. We are the followers. We follow different political parties. Functions. Now a very important heading is about to begin. Pay attention. What does a political party do? What are the functions of the political party? Basically, all political parties fill political offices and exercise political power. Parties do so by performing a series of functions. Now, as we will read function number 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., please keep on underlining those things which are written in black, in dark black, and also wherever you see an important explanation has come in the paragraph, underline that also, because again children, since it is your board year, so you cannot do selective study. You have to read each and every line and you have to retain as much as possible. First, parties contest elections. This is the first function of the political parties. Parties contest elections. In most democracies, elections are fought mainly among the candidates put up by political parties. We all see this whenever elections come. We see that there are various candidates which are representatives of their political parties and they contest elections among each other. Parties select their candidates in different ways. In some countries such as the USA, members and supporters of a party choose its candidates. Now, more and more countries are following this method. In other countries like India, underline this, top party leaders choose candidates for contesting elections. In countries like India, top party leaders within their own parties, they choose candidates for contesting elections. So the first function is political parties contest elections. Second function, parties put forward different policies and programs and voters choose from them. Just now I have read something related to this and I have explained also, so it is almost a repetition. Second point, underline, parties put forward different policies and programs and voters choose from them. Just now on the same page, first paragraph, we have read that the parties try to persuade the people why their policies are better as compared to other parties, and that is why when we get persuaded, when we are convinced, then we show our support by choosing them as our representatives. We vote for them during elections. So the second important function of the political party is that they put forward different policies and programs and voters choose from them. The voters choose the political party according to the policies and programs which has convinced them most. Each of us may have different opinions and views on what policies are suitable for the society. But no government can handle such a large variety of views. Just now in the first paragraph of the same page, we have studied that different people have different opinions. What is good for me may not be good for you according to you. You may have a different viewpoint, I might have a different viewpoint. So it is written that in a democracy, a large number of similar opinions have to be grouped together to provide a direction in which policies can be formulated by the governments. I am reading this part once again. Each of us may have different opinions and views on what policies are suitable for the society. But no government can handle such a large variety of views. The government cannot take into consideration the view of each citizen of the country. It is impossible. So what is done? In a democracy, a large number of similar opinions have to be grouped together to provide a direction in which policies can be formulated by the government. That means, if by and large it is seen by the government that people are supporting a set of policies, a an optimistic approach of the citizens is being highlighted towards a certain set of policies or programs which the government is planning to formulate. Then the government moves in that direction and it finalizes those policies which the government will initiate or bring into practice. This is what the parties do. A party reduces a vast multitude of opinions. A vast multitude of opinions means a vast number of opinions into a few basic positions which it supports. A large section of people, a large number of people who have expressed their opinion, it is summarized by the political parties, and they formulate their basic positions according to the summary which they have made. I am reading this line once again. This is what the parties do. A party reduces a vast multitude of opinions. That means it summarizes. It cannot take into consideration the opinion of each and every citizen of the country. So by and large, it is taken into consideration that if the majority section of people in the country are showing their positive approach towards certain policies and programs which the government is trying to formulate, then the party reduces a vast majority of opinions into a few basic positions which it supports. When the party sees that majority sections of people, or even if 3/4 sections of the people are showing their positive approach towards the policies of the government, then it is reduced into some basic positions which it supports. A government is expected to base its policies on the line taken by the ruling party. A government is expected to base its policies on the line taken by the ruling party. That means whatever the ruling party finalizes, whatever the ruling party decides, seeing the majority opinion of the countrymen, the government continues to make its plans, the government makes its policies on that line. The line of action will be followed by the government. When the ruling party sees that the majority section of the people are showing their approval towards the policies and programs which they have formulated, if they get a general opinion by and large that the people are in favor, they are supporting them, then that line of action is taken by the government